Hey guys, so I just wanted to quickly show off this new little REST API that I've built, which is called Flansible, and it's simply a super simple REST API for just executing both Ansible commands and playbooks. And now playbooks are very much in development, so that's not fully featured yet. And you'll find it at my GitHub account, which is here. And so, so what it does is basically asynchronously execute Ansible tasks and playbooks based on REST calls. So you can basically post REST calls to a web API and have that asynchronously execute the Ansible playbook on that host. So I thought I'd just show quickly what that looks like. Now I'll first, I guess, show the setup. So I'm running a Ubuntu 14.04 node here, which has Ansible installed, and I've also just downloaded this package. And if you clone my Git repo in the utils folder, you'll see this debug, which is basically how I start this stuff. So first, I just use screen to set up to be able to run multiple processes in the same terminal. So I basically set up a worker, and this is the process that will actually execute the Ansible command or playbook. So you basically just cd into the right folder and start the Celery worker and give it the right app. And then I've also chosen to run Flower, which is basically just a monitoring UI for Celery. So you'll find that. And as you can see here, I'm using Redis as my data store. You can also use RabbitMQ, and in that case, you need to change this connection string to point to your RabbitMQ. And then lastly, I'm just running the Python app itself. Now this app um, runs in the default Flask web server, which is not a production-ready thing at all. So if you want to do this in production, you should probably use Apache or something else. Uh, Also worth mentioning, there's a config that's ini file, which basically has the connection string to the backend server, the Flask TCP port. So in case you're running the built-in Flask web server, just make sure to set these things. And then I've built a very, very simple authentication where you just basically give it a username and password here in the config file, and that's the user you need to authenticate with in order to get to the thing. So yeah, let's check it out. So first, I'm implementing Swagger in this just to be able to document the REST API, and this is not even close to fully featured yet, but I've basically started documenting the first one, which is Ansible command, and you can post to this URI to just do quick and dirty Ansible execution. And here you can see the JSON body that you need to post. Now all of these show up as optional, but that's not actually the case. You need to have at least a module, and yeah, I guess module is the only one you need to use. So let's take this for a spin and see how it goes. So I've already stored my credentials, like username admin, password admin, in this object, and then this is the body I post in. So I'm using become to run as root or as sudo. Module apt, and then module args is basically, yeah, you'll probably, if you've used Ansible, you recognize these options. So module args are whatever options the module takes. So here I am making sure that the popularity contest apt package is absent. And then before I run that, I do update cache. So if I post this guy, or actually maybe it's easier to use Postman to do this. Um, so yeah, and it takes a post method. And like I said, I've done my super simple authentication here. So if I post this now, what you get back is a task ID. And if I head to the celery flower thing, you can actually see that task ID being being started. And if I go to Postman with this, now it might have already concluded, but we'll try. So that's status pending. And if I hit that again, oh, I managed to type in the wrong or get a character that shouldn't have been there. So anyway, this is the, if I do get to the status with that ID I get progress, and then finally I'm gonna get success. And when I get success, I can go to Ansible task output with the same ID and basically get the output from Ansible. If I go back to Celery, you can see that that completed. So that's pretty much all you need to know as far as Ansible command goes. Now, Ansible playbooks are probably a bit more interesting. So what I've done just for testing, I have a test.yaml just in my home directory, and which basically contains pretty much the same as this. I'm just removing a package and I'm adding it back. So that should be a bit more long running. So I can use Postman for this as well. And then I use Ansible playbook. And I will, the code will verify that both this path exists and the playbook exists. You need to specify it with the extension. So if I do something like 2 here, you'll see that it can't find that directory. So that happens before the playbook is sent off to the execution engine. So that should work. And here as well, I'm getting a task ID back, which I can poll. So that's in progress. And 786, let's see how. So that's this guy started. Now I'm not giving any output before the actually whole task is done, at least for now. I might change that later. So we'll just have to wait for it to complete. So there it reports success. So if I take that with me here, you'll see that the playbook has executed. So yeah, that's quick and dirty with Flansible. So I hope you guys enjoy it.